Take a look at this astonishingly smart overtake, which was actually done to me. I'm defending middle, my opponent throws his car onto the outside line, keeps the overlap to stay alongside, albeit only just, which then converts to the inside line for the next turn, and the move is finished neatly. Perfect. This driver understands complex overtakes. He understood that positioning himself on the outside for this turn can set him up to completely overtake from a stronger position in the next, and he created an overtake that the majority of people wouldn't think to even try. As you rise into mid and higher tier sim racing, you'll need to learn how to do more than just brake late and grab the inside at any cost. Track knowledge and inspired positioning will become a bigger factor in the battles you win and lose. This video will teach you to recognise how track layout influences racing and overtaking strategy, and you should leave with inspiration to put down the most technical and satisfying overtakes of your sim racing career. Let's take a look. Before I begin, thanks to G Performance for sponsoring this video. G Performance offers a wide selection of sim racing products from various top brands for beginner sim racers all the way to professional race drivers. G Performance is focused on ultra-fast delivery, good pre- and after-sales customer support, which earned them an excellent rating on Trustpilot. When it comes time to upgrade your kit, check the link in the description and find your next setup, or head directly to gperformance.eu. Between G Performance and you lot watching, you all have my gratitude for your channel support, enabling more videos like this. First, let's take a deeper look again at that simple but excellent example of a complex overtake, that move from the intro of this video, because it encapsulated what a complex overtake is all about. As we head towards the final turn at Donington, a tight left hairpin, I'm defending against the car behind by occupying the middle inner section of the track, dissuading him from trying to overtake on the inside. I considered this to be easily defendable, so long as I didn't miss my own braking point. However, they switched to the outside with intent and drive deep into the braking zone, doing a great job of pulling alongside with a very chunky overlap. It's a solid starting point for what comes next. As I have the inside line and they have to go the longer route around me on the outside, that overlap that they have does get peeled back to a much smaller degree as the corner plays out, but the overlap is still there on corner exit, small as it may be. They still have a nose alongside me, and that means I'm required to leave them space on that side. I can't just cut them off, so say the rules of racing. As we fly down to turn 1 side by side, the inside advantage I enjoyed in the last corner now becomes theirs because the upcoming corner goes to the right. They brake accurately and confidently to shut me out of the corner, and I can't hold on to the place. It was a superb piece of racecraft which I recognise as highly experienced and calculating. It's the mark of someone who knows what they're doing at every step and why. A complex overtake, or multi-corner overtake as you might prefer to think of it, has one defining principle to it. You can use one corner to simply start the fight, and use the following corners to finish it in a potential series of follow-up moves. Not every overtake is going to be one swift, decisive lunge that's wrapped up in one turn. Not every overtake needs you to dine on a hefty slipstream to draw alongside on a straight. It can be multi-part, created from unusual starting points, spanning entire corner sequences, whereby the track layout can flip the advantage from one side to the other depending on what's coming up next. When you realise that, you can see overtaking opportunities where others can't. I mean, ask yourself, if you were in their position at this point, whereby I've got the inside pretty much covered, coming up to a tight technical hairpin, would you have had the inspiration to aggressively grab the outside line as they did? I'm not even sure I would have had the presence of mind to try, and I'm the one teaching this. Hopefully, going forward, you just might, and there are reasons why it might work more often than you think, especially on cars that are actively defending off the racing line like I was doing here. For starters, braking off the normal racing line on an inside defence requires extra accuracy and judgment on the part of a defending car, because braking on the middle and inside lines are not often practiced. Defending cars may brake too early and over slow out of caution to guarantee that they safely make the corner, just like I did here. That can give you, the attacking car, a chance to drive aggressively into that outside space, thanks to your more familiar braking point, just like in this example. They drove so confidently and aggressively into that outside space that they were actually ahead at one stage. That gave their overlap enough meat to survive being stuck on the outside through the hairpin. If I'd broken free of that overlap on corner exit, I would have immediately moved to defend the inside line for turn 1, but due to that healthy overlap at the start of the corner, I couldn't whittle their overlap down to nothing, and they still earned that space alongside me. It really is a textbook example of starting the fight in one corner so that they can finish it more easily in the next. Now that you've seen that, see how it translates elsewhere. Interlagos has great scope for complex overtakes in the middle sector, especially in turns 8 and 9. In this example, it's lap 1, I'm following a car into turn 8 and they have the inside middle line for this right-hander, but I go outside. I feel I have the ability to get alongside them and maintain an overlap, small as it may be, partly due to the congestion of the opening lap that can sometimes slow people down and open the door to moves just like this. That overlap means that we are now engaged in side-by-side racing. There is no swapping sides now, we have to follow the track hand in hand until one of us wins or loses. What follows that right-handed turn 8 is the left-handed turn 9. The advantageous inside line for turn 8 that the other car had becomes the disadvantageous outside line for turn 9, and as you can see, it falls in my favour and allows me to steal the spot. This overtake was only made or even attempted because I understood the track layout. I saw an opportunity to start the fight on the outside in one turn and finish it on the inside in the next turn, creating a multi-corner complex overtake that required no risky dives on the inside. Now let's look at a different type of complex overtake, a more strung out scenario I saw happening in front of me at Monza. The two cars ahead of me go side by side into turn 1. Despite yellow having the inside line, they don't brake late enough to quite seal the deal, and they head into the corner both still side by side. Although yellow has the inside for the first half of the chicane, the inside advantage is handed back to the red car who, despite tumbling over the inner curb, has a really good exit, emerging slightly ahead, not enough to shake off the overlap, so they remain side by side. Then, as they curl around the long high-speed turn 3, the outside car has their overlap steadily eroded, but still not quite enough to completely break from being side by side. Because of this, yellow has to remain on the right side of the track and the red car to the left of them. But that's a good thing for what's coming up next. Approaching the chicane and the heavy braking zone for turns 4 and 5, the red car that was on the outside for turn 3 now has the inside for that braking zone and corner entry. Now, this is a much trickier set of corners to go side by side through than it is through 1 and 2. So the yellow car wisely backs out and the place is won by the red car, which began this whole sequence of corners on the outside. Experienced and capable drivers know that many tracks feature multi-part corner sequences like this, where losing the inside line is not always the end of the story. It's still worth trying to hang on for when the track hands the advantage back to you, if you can only stay alongside. And also consider this, unlike the conscious effort made in the opening example earlier, here neither car really had to do any active thinking. They just drove their lines on their own sides of the track and tried to drive as well as they could. There was no dive bombing, no dummies, no mind games. It was all just down to driving cleanly and accurately and letting the track geometry favour you in due course. One final point to make about this example is, because I'm not being fully honest here, in this scenario, red is not the attacker, yellow is. This video may be named after complex overtakes, but it can just as easily be relabeled as complex defending. It doesn't matter how you get there, whether you're attacking or defending, When you're side by side, track layout becomes the guiding force behind who wins and who loses. And if you're more conscious of that than your opponent is, you can position yourself to have the best chance of winning the place or just keeping it. So, are there any other examples out there of track layout creating fertile ground for this kind of thing? Red Bull Ring has a great segment where complex overtakes can occur in the middle sector. Defending cars that are under pressure will often hold the middle for turn 4. If they're not confident or accurate with their braking, or they hesitate to get the power down on exit, it gives you the chance to go around the outside of them. It's quite a viable corner for doing this because of the unwinding angle on exit. It rewards accuracy greatly. If you do manage to hold onto the outside, you are then gifted 2 left-hand corners directly afterwards, putting you on the inside line for both of them and giving you a great chance to shake off a defender and complete your overtake. And you'd better hope you do, because if you don't, turns 8, 9 and 10 will swing back in their favour. Silverstone also has multiple hotspots for complex racecraft such as this. I attack on the inside through Brooklands, but the track changes directions and the defender keeps their foot in the door, scrabbling that overlap back. The track curls around to the right once more, further dismantling my attack, before Cops hands him the final swing he needs to stay out in front. The defending car made extra effort to sustain that line around the outside in the first turn, because he knew that it would swiftly be followed by 3 bites of the inside in return. So what's the lesson that I'm trying to get across here? Really speaking, the overall aim of this video is to show how racecraft is deeply tied to track layout, so that you start thinking about it more and open your eyes to overtaking opportunities that were previously invisible to you. If you're thinking about it and your next opponent isn't, you're more likely to slice through them and make progress up the grid. It's a boost to your skill as a complete racer, but let's not forget the satisfaction it brings too. A nice, clean, single corner overtake down the inside is all well and good, lovely, but it does not compare to the joy and smugness you will feel when you complete a complex overtake out of nothing, outsmarting your target and proving your skill to yourself and everyone else. Thanks once again to G Performance for sponsoring this guide. Remember to go check them out via the link in the description when you're looking for your next upgrade, or head there directly via gperformance.eu. Thank you very much. Cheers.